What's up, house groups? Happy New Year. So over Christmas break, I discovered a new Twitter account called @LiteralLarry. And one of the things he tweeted was, hey, you guys, tomorrow we're going to have pretty much the exact same problems we have today. Happy New Year's Eve. And I laughed because he was literally correct. He's literal Larry after all. But it was a really good reminder that maybe, just maybe, 2021 isn't going to be the solution to every single problem we have. Like all that stuff that we've been waiting on, we're still waiting. In fact, we spend a whole lot of our lives waiting on that like next big life stage, that next promotion, that next thing that's coming on down the line, or right now, just waiting for a return to some sort of normalcy. I've felt like my theme for the last 6 months has been that Sarah McLachlan song that she sings for the ASPCA. Like, spend all your time waiting for that second chance or the break that's going to make it okay. But there's always a reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. It just makes me want to sponsor a dog and go cry in the corner. It's hard. Sometimes it feels like we're just suffocating in the middle of all of our waiting. But on Sunday, Jody reminded us that that's not the only option we have. Even while we're waiting, even while there's pain and frustration in that, suffocation isn't the only choice that's available to us. She told the story of Noah, who God came to and told him to build a boat, and he built it faithfully for years and years, for decades and decades, and he waited and he waited, and in the middle of his waiting, he trusted God, he waited patiently, he obeyed God, and he praised God. He praised God while he waited. And in Psalm 27, King David did the same thing. He's in the middle of this difficult situation where a whole bunch of enemies are coming at him, trying to get him. And he decides that even while he waits, even while things look bleak and hopeless, and he has no idea what to do, he's going to worship God in the waiting. Why? Like, why was Noah convinced? And why was David convinced that throwing in the towel, sitting in the corner crying, that suffocating in our waiting wasn't the best option, but that worship in the middle of our waiting was the best option? Because they understood something, that there's this value in worshiping while we sit in the pain of an unwanted and an unknown situation. And the value of worshiping while we wait is that it zooms us out of our situation, and it reminds us that we are part of a bigger story that's being written. And that story ends in all things made new and all things set right, because that's who God is. And so as we enter into 2021 and things aren't yet the way that we want them to be, as we enter into this new year where we are still waiting for things to be the way that they once were, still waiting for some sort of normalcy, for the new normal that's going to be established. As we enter into this new year and we're still waiting for all kinds of things on top of that, my challenge to you, my encouragement to you is not to suffocate in your waiting, but to worship in your waiting. To come before God and remember who He is, because when we worship, when we remember who God is, while we wait, we remember that we're part of a bigger story that ends in peace and hope and love. So let's worship while we wait.